What's up, guys? It is Gray, aka the Kagre, and we're back for My Hero Monday. Newest chapter is out, 281, and it's crazy. It is pretty wild. Before we get into this, big spoilers, like potentially really big spoilers. So please, if you care about that at all, if you're not caught up, blah blah blah, whatever, maybe not, maybe don't. You know what I mean? Either way. You should like the video if you want more My Hero content and subscribe because I do Bleach and My Hero and sometimes Dragon Ball. Either way, let's get into the chapter. We'll get to the part when we get there. So this chapter is kind of half flashbacks and just kind of a rant. So we start here. This is Shigaraki's father from a different flashback, which I don't believe the anime has gotten to yet at all. No, that's not for a while. That's in the Liberation arc. So you have no idea what this is if you don't read the manga. That's his dad. His body's looking pretty beat up. It's like cracking and stuff. I saw it hasn't blinked in like 10 minutes. So he's like, please finish him off quickly. Oops, there we go. Over here. So he goes in like a long speech about how like heroes are like bad because it makes everyone depend on them and they're dependent on the coddling that they get. And it's just, he goes like, I'm not going to like go over everything, but we get some flashbacks about how like no one would help him because like they weren't heroes or police. They're like, oh, someone will help you. It's really sad, by the way, like a little boy walking around like no one. Pretty messed up. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna society rejected me, so I'm gonna reject the society, and that's why I'm a villain and you're a hero. And we see a really sweet panel of Shigaraki looking awesome, missing his fingers. He's got like holes in his hands now. His body's getting destroyed. Which tells me that I do think he's on his last couple limbs right here, but he still pulls some crazy stuff out. Never attacks him because he was like, thanks for the long rant that gave us a second to breathe. So Endeavor shoots at him. He jukes him. Endeavor's like, wow, this guy's still moving. He's in the air looking like an absolute demon. Love this panel. Gran Torino comes in and tackles him. And he's like, oh man, Endeavor's not shooting as much, probably because he's getting tired. Every panel of Shigaraki in this chapter is incredible. Just incredible. Gran Torino tries to get out, but he catches him by his boot and just crushes his ankle or leg brutally. Deku's trying to help him. Aizawa's like, man, I hope these guys figure it out quick. Another amazing panel of Shigaraki down here. I love this. It looks so cool. We get a flashback to the previous, or the one, All Might's mentor, not all, like the one before him. I don't really remember her name, if I'm being honest. Is it Shimura? Yeah, it is Shimura. So this is a flashback of her dropping off her son because she was like, yeah, we changed records to keep All for One like away from him, which clearly didn't work because there's a pretty prevailing theory on the internet right now that All for One gave him decay, which I think is probably true. Because he gets dropped off by a man in a suit. And there's one of the chapters where he gets dropped off by a man in a suit that does look kind of like All for One. And if he gave him decay, that means whatever happened to his family happened to him. And then he took him in because he knew that no one would be that, like, no one would take him in. So he did. And this is just him comforting her after she dropped off her son, which was Shigaraki's dad. And this is a really sweet panel. And this is what we're talking about. So here is implied that Shigaraki killed Gran Torino. Do I think he's dead? Yes. Mainly because I want him to be dead. Now hear me out. I don't that I dislike Gran Torino. This manga, one of the very few complaints I have with this manga in total is there's not many stakes. A lot of the main characters get away fine. No one really dies. They're pretty decent about like maiming people, especially recently in the past couple. Like people's injuries have carried through, and like Aizawa's quirk has been worse. All Might, stuff like that. But people need to start dying. And Night Eye, I don't count Night Eye because he was introduced to die. Basically, he came out of nowhere and just died the same arc he was introduced. So I don't count that. And Gran Torino is a perfect character to die right now. He's not particularly needed anymore. And I think it'd be good because Deku still needs a reason. Because, like, obviously Deku knows that he has to fight Shigaraki because Shigaraki's bad, right? Like, that's where it's not personal. Not yet. This makes it personal. This will make it carry over and be like other shonen where it's like, I hate you for a reason. This will give Deku all the reasons he needs to want to defeat Shigaraki. I hope he's dead. It'd be nice if he didn't get like a bedside death, if he just died in the field of battle, just to change it up so everyone isn't getting like last words. That's unrealistic. But either way, hopefully he is dead, just because I think for the sake of the story, it's healthiest for sure. Or at least he dies soon, if he's not dead now. But I do think he will be dead by the time the arc, this part of the arc wraps up. I think he's going to be dead. A little rant. Deku tries to get Shigaraki, but he's really quick. He's still getting his quirk erased. What is her name? It starts with an R, I think. Ryukyu? Yeah, whatever. The Dragon Lady catches him with both hands. Now, this is important because this is a really confusing panel. But what I think is happening here is this is her this hand that's catching him, which is her right hand. She's doing this, right? I think what's happening is he blew all of her fingers back and broke them. And that's why they're bending, because I think that's her left hand. This is her right hand. They're getting blown back from the force of his punch. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. It makes the most sense, which is why it looks like she's in such pain. And there's cracks and stuff. And Shigaraki's like, I'm running out of steam. Deku catches him with Black Whip. People said that it looks like he was trying to snap his neck. I don't think that's true. I think he was trying to hold on. He's like, I'll never forgive you. And he's like, blah, 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 whatever. He elbows him. And if you don't know, Shigaraki's almost strong as All Might. So Deku's like, unfortunate. He's commanding Black Whip at this point to hold him still. And everyone's like, hold up. What a god tier panel. Holy shizzer. One more good hit. It's like, we could do it. Yeah, that is her right hand. Her fingers are completely blown back. Yikes. That looks painful. He's holding Shigaraki still. Shigaraki pulls out a quirk erasing bullet, and he's aiming it in this area. And Eri shows up, which is to be reminded of what the quirk erasing bullets do. And I also think it's to tie that he's aiming for Aizawa, which I actually think, once again, I think hitting Aizawa with a quirk erasing bullet, while sad because I love Aizawa, and I don't think he's gonna die. He has his personal story arc to continue with Smoke Boy. I never can remember his name ever. I can never remember his name, but it always takes me a minute. Kurogiri. That's oh my god. Every time I have to think about it. I do think for the sake of the story, Aizawa getting his quirk can't get erased now because then Shigaraki will just kill everyone with decay. If Shigaraki gets all of his quirks back, everyone's around him is dead, and that's not going to happen. So maybe he hits Manuel. Manuel loses his quirk. Aizawa has to blink, and then in the second he leaves, maybe, perhaps? Or he erases Aizawa's quirk and passes out, which is what I think should... And if I was writing the story, and this is what I would want. Now, of course, I don't know anything in the future, so I'm not going to claim that this is right. I'm just saying this is what I would guess, what makes the most sense to me, is he hits Aizawa. Aizawa blinks. Shigaraki tries to use his quirk and passes out because he's at his limit. And then Jin Tamakie shows up and saves him, and they get away. And it's kind of like a stalemate, but a little bit more on the villain side. Because I think Eraserhead needs to lose his quirk, just for the sake of the story. Because he's just too important every time they fight Shigaraki if he walks away with his quirk. He's far too important. He is the only... Aizawa is quite literally carrying the team right now, basically almost by himself. Like, he's definitely taking damage from other people, but if he had his quirks, everyone here would be dead. Like, everyone here would be decayed and dead. Like, that's it. That's just all would happen. So that's what I think would happen. That's what I think should happen. But I could also see other people losing his quirk or their quirks too. He only has one shot, and if you hit him, good for him. I think Jin Tamakie is going to show up. I think Jin Tamakie is going to get away from the students. I think that the fun, haha, we're winning moment is going to end because he's going to be my master, and he's going to piece to get him. And that's how I think. That's how I assume this is going to end, is where the League of Villains, or I guess the Paranormal Liberation Front, get Shigaraki and retreat somewhere. And it's kind of it's as I said, kind of like a stalemate, but definitely more on the villain side because they killed some people. and they're like free. That's what I think. Either way, 10 out of 10 chapter in my opinion. I love this. I love Shigaraki. I love the flashbacks. The arts are incredible as always. The action is a little hard. The manga is so detailed sometimes in black and white. It is hard to make out exactly what's happening. But it's going to be years before this is animated. So either way, love it, love it, love it. So cool. And yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see all of you next time. Make sure you subscribe for more My Hero content. And you can check out the other videos on the channel. And yeah, so once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.